After flying through the night, we arrived at Charles De Gaulle Airport Saturday morning, having gained 6 hours. My wife was able to sleep on the plane. I just can't sleep on a plane, so I was a little groggy. We headed to the baggage claim down this impressive escalator. The escalator steps all retract, becoming a smooth, slanted surface going down like most airport walkways. I don't know how they don't have more accidents with people falling because we nearly fell. We came to another escalator that was encased in a tube, which took us back up to the baggage claim area. Now, this tube traveled through a large circular courtyard that looked like a hamster habitacle for humans. This is Terminal 1, a huge, ungainly, concrete, circular structure, the oldest and ugliest, might I say, terminal designed by Paul Andrew. He designed it in the image of an octopus. And if I may say, I don't find octopi very attractive, so in that sense, he succeeded. Researching further, I did find out that it was Terminal 2, which we flew into back in 2004, that collapsed, which is why this structure looked so unfamiliar. We got our bags, and I decided that I wanted to get a dolly shot of us exiting the airport. And here's where I run into a little bit of trouble. I figured we were all out of the high security area, so it would be okay to get a shot. So I mounted my action cam to the handle of my rolling luggage and took off. I didn't get very far.
Par ici.
Oh.
Caméra
Pour la vidéo?
Vous filmez là?
Ah, seulement
Non. Ah, vous effacez.
Okay, d'accord. There were 4 security guards and they told me to turn off the camera, erase the card, which I didn't. I really didn't know how. And they asked us where we were traveling from and how long we were staying. The lead officer warned me not to do it again, or else there would be a fine. And then we were on our way. That encounter was a cakewalk compared to what I went through entering Israel with a camera, but that's another video. We grabbed a cab, which we shared with another group of people from the States, and we headed off to our hotel. Now, back in 2004, my wife Serena kept telling me that I should try to sleep on the plane so as to fight the jet lag and be wide awake upon arrival. She slept on the plane. And how did that work for her? Skip ahead 10 years, and let's see if her strategy worked this time. Oh well. Our hotel was roughly 20 miles from the airport in a town called Chateau de Vincennes. Some of my fellow Hoosiers would know this as Vincennes. As I was saying, we were on our way to Chateau de Vincennes, which is only 30 minutes from Paris by train. In 2004, we stayed in Paris proper at l'Hôtel Opéra, part of the Best Western chain. The room was nice and quaint. I loved it. My wife was not impressed. But this time we saved some money by utilizing rewards points on our timeshare option at the Royal Regency. A couple of things I found interesting. There was a shower area in the lobby, and you don't see that over here. And there was a replica of Michelangelo's David right next to the shower entrance. While it's a classic Renaissance sculpture embodying man's inherent heroism and nobility in the face of insurmountable odds, I'd imagine it'd be a bit unnerving to exit the shower and come face to face with a naked guy's exposed package. This was our living room for 4 days. The panel effect makes it seem bigger than it actually was, but it was a decent size. The living room even had French doors. The kitchen was rather small. You had to shut the door to the kitchen entrance in order to open the fridge. The bathroom was nice. The shower was not fully enclosed. So in order to keep from splashing water all over the floor, you had to keep your shower activity right up against the wall because the glass only covered 1/3 of the tub. This was the case with all the rooms I've stayed in during my trips to Paris. But a major difference with this room from the others was that the toilet was in a separate room down the hall in the apartment. I suppose this is what is known in Europe as a water closet, and I kind of liked it. The toilet had a unique flushing handle. Kind of like a pull-string toy. Next thing I did was to unpack my cable bag and put all my gadgets on charge using my UK adapter. Then we unpacked all our luggage and retired to the bedroom for a nap. 4 hours later, well into the afternoon, we woke up and decided to head into Paris. Our concierge informed us that the metro was only a 10-minute walk and we could take the M1 yellow line into Paris. We decided our first stop would be the Arc de Triomphe. So we would grab the M1, which runs underneath the Champs-Élysées, to the Georges V stop, which would put us a couple blocks east of the Arc. Now, it was important to me that we blend in with the locals. We didn't want to come off as tourists. So I went with this look. Okay, that's me for the L. But we headed out to the train, enjoying the sights of Chateau de Vincennes. I'll tell you right now, you're probably going to see a lot of photos of my wife, simply because I think she's beautiful. Chateau de Vincennes simply translated means Castle of Vincennes, and there is in fact a castle in the center of town. It was originally built as a hunting lodge for Louis VII in 1150. Christ's crown of thorns was held here temporarily, while Sainte-Chapelle, a cathedral located on the Ile de la Cité in Paris, prepared to receive them. A fragment of the crown is actually held here within its own chapel. It was once a state prison where the Marquis de Sade was held, and Mata Hari, the exotic dancer accused of espionage in World War I, was executed here. We passed this building every day on our walk to the metro, and had I known its history at that time, I might have ventured inside during our stay. On the way to the metro, we spotted a lot of smart cars. I had seen my first one when I was in Paris back in 2004. Now I see them frequently here at home. Once we figured out how to work the ticket machine, we were good to go. The Paris metro system has changed a bit since we were last here. In 2004, I was amazed at how clean the stations were as compared to New York. They didn't seem as clean now, but they still had this timer which tells how soon the train will arrive, and it was pretty accurate. 30 minutes later, we hopped off at the Georges V stop, arrived at the world-famous boulevard, the Champs-Élysées, and off in the distance to the northeast stood the Arc de Triomphe.